Stop begging black people to cosplay black characters. Okay, this is gonna be a very quick video. It's not scripted, but I wanted to come on here and apologize for some things I mentioned in my last video. I realized that I was a bit too sensitive and said some things that were out of line. But before I do, there are some things that I want to go over that I noticed in the comment sections, especially on TikTok, but it did happen in pretty much every platform, YouTube and Instagram. Again, mostly on TikTok. Right now, the video is sitting at over 600 comments. And a large chunk of those comments are people asking me to cosplay somebody. So as I read through a lot of comments, I saw that a bunch of them were teenagers, but I really don't know how many of you are teenagers and how many of you are actually adults. So again, as usual, I'm leaving space for just people being immature and lacking reading comprehension. But coming onto a Black cosplayers video talking about discrimination and racism, and then asking them to cosplay somebody is not funny, it's not kind, it's not being an ally, it's just ignoring the problem. I genuinely don't care who you want me to cosplay. This video is about making a change. This video is about shedding light on an important issue. You could have commented that on any other video at any other time, but you chose a video about cosplay recommendations and racism to leave me a cosplay recommendation. Even if you say, oh, I'm so sorry, I know this might come off as wrong, you still did it anyway. Do you not understand how you are just adding to spam and not allowing other black voices in the comments to be heard? Do you not understand how you just ignoring the problem is adding to the problem? Even if you have good intentions, you are not doing anything to actually help me. I don't find you funny, I don't find you friendly, we are not close, this is a parasocial relationship. Don't joke about that stuff when I'm having serious conversations. And obviously I knew that there would be backlash in my video, people saying like, oh, this thing isn't racist, Poochie isn't black. I know they didn't mean it. If you watch my video, I pretty much explained everything. Poochie not being black doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean that the experience that black people have endured hasn't existed. In the same way that Hakury is not black, that character has caused me a lot of racism and anti-blackness. Even if Poochie is technically not black, people have used this character to be anti-black and racist. Some of you have started the conversation of, oh, you actually do look like this character. It's not like they're asking you to be Killer B. You are supposed to meet with Nuance. I cannot talk about every single argument that ever existed. I cannot talk about every single experience I've ever had. These are examples. Furthermore, a lot of you have been starting to comment some obviously obtuse cosplay recommendations. Yodorichi, Rukia. Again, it's not funny because every time you joke in my comment sections, even if you're not racist, a racist person will use that as a dog whistle. A racist person will use that to be directly racist to me. You, as a consumer of my media, also influence how my media is viewed by other people. Because if you spam the same comment over and over, you're going to change how people view my video, you're going to change how people react to my videos. So if you're wasting space in the comment sections, cracking jokes, people are not going to take the message of my video seriously. A lot of people misunderstand me as being nice. I am not nice, I am kind. I do not feel the need to yell at people. I do not feel the need to cuss at people. I do not feel the need to use body shaming or fat phobia. I attack arguments and ideas, and it is my own personal journey to come with kindness and empathy. But do not misunderstand me for being nice and passive. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, that's not very nice of you. Good. It's not meant to be nice. Oh my gosh, I follow you for your cosplays, not your yapping videos. I don't care. Unfollow me. I genuinely don't care if you don't like my videos. I post things about things that I enjoy. That is like my #1 priority. My next priority is hoping that other people will enjoy it. But if you don't, and I actually care about the thing I'm posting, you can block me, you can mute me, you can just unfollow me, you can keep scrolling. But if you complain about the things that are important to me, I'm not gonna care. Actually, I might just block and delete you myself. I don't care if I have less followers because of it. I really need some of you to start feeling shame and understand that maybe, oh, maybe I'm not a good person. Not that you can actually categorize most people as good or bad. That last video I made, I was holding your hand the entire time and some of you still took offense and still chose to be confused and still chose to argue. I couldn't hold your hand anymore because if I watered the subject down anymore, I wouldn't actually be talking about the subject. I would be acting like racism doesn't exist. I would be acting like feelings haven't been hurt. I would be acting like some of you aren't harmful when you actually are. If you actually care about black people and you actually think you're a good person, you need to actually stop and think about your actions and how they affect other people. You need to actually think about how you're helping people. You need to actually take a step back and think, are your little jokes, are your little comments that important compared to the important topics that people are bringing up? I'm sure many of you know the term a wolf in sheep's clothing or whatever it's called. That's how I view some of you. It's easy to block someone who just calls me the N-word or who is just racist. It's difficult and annoying and disappointing when someone is acting like they care about me, but they are wasting my time, or they aren't actually defending me, or they're allowing things to slide. Sometimes I do view your comments to be just as bad as the directly racist comments. If you actually enjoy my content and you follow me, don't disrespect me like that again. Do not waste my time with your antics. Do not make jokes under a video that is specifically not a joke. I will never find it funny. I will never respect you for that. Oh, you're just being sensitive. I don't care. I really don't care. White people, non-black people, and black people who are haters, why do you always come in the comment sections asking, well, can a white person cosplay a black person? why. Like, why are you so obsessed with that question? And why are you asking me on the video that's not even about that? Why does that question have you in the chokehold? Why do you think it's appropriate to ask me? Why don't you just make your own video? Why don't you just ask the world yourself? Why don't you just try it yourself? Like, I truly don't understand why you're asking me. I'm not your teacher. I'm not your dad. Some of you need to just live life and figure things out yourself. I give explicit instructions. I break things down, and yet people still ask me for things instead of just trying themselves. And this is just in general. Some of you need to learn to do your own research, find your own questions, make your own mistakes, and stop asking so much from Black people. Anyway, I don't have anything to apologize. That was just clickbait to get people to pay attention. I typically don't like doing that. I really like being straightforward. I try to really minimize any sort of misdirection or tricking people into doing things. That's not my style. I think the closest thing I'll ever get is doing advertisements. So if you ever see me on like an advertisement on a page that's not my own, I'm just trying to get by. If you see an advertisement on my own page, I typically try to do the best I can to be as honest as possible. Sometimes you do have to fake a little bit of a smile, but yeah, I don't like having to clickbait people into watching my videos, but this was an important video. And unfortunately, I know how the internet works. Even if I don't always follow the internet rules, this was an exception. And just a reminder to Black people or allies or people who have similar experiences, a lot of people are going to be willfully ignorant. All Black people do not support all Black people. Make sure you're not getting sucked into too many arguments. Every now and then I do talk with people, I pick their brains, I give some pushback, but when I see that ignorance brewing, when I see that lack of understanding brewing, I don't waste my time. Sometimes the conversation is not even about what you're talking about. You have to take 4 steps back and actually talk about what the word racism really means. And unless you're willing to do that, you're never going to get anywhere with the conversation. So find your peace, cut off the conversation, talk to people who are willing to listen. Don't waste hours talking to a singular person who does not care. My mental health is fine, unfortunately, because I do get racist backlash all the time, and my life has not been easy. I've had to learn how to deal with this stuff, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to call it out, right? It doesn't mean I don't find it wrong. It doesn't mean I don't find it like irritating or disrespectful to people who are affected. But again, I'm at peace.